Hello and welcome to the AllMadeUp podcast with me, Harry Stakini.
Me, Lewis Coleman.
And me, Sam the Man.
The show where each week a guest joins us in the writer's room to create a story like you and we have never heard before.
Not quite knowing what's around the corner or what we'll find along the way, as this podcast is exactly what it says on the tin.
It's all made up.
Smashed it. It's so good. Even better without Ben.
Yeah. I miss him.
I didn't want to say it.
Ben, if you're watching and listening, he's not here again. Ben is currently on a 10-hour flight delay.
From France.
From France, yeah. Doing some international business for the podcast, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity with Ben, at what point is he the guest host? The amount that he's guest.
That is a very good
valid point. Do you know what? If he is watching this episode in the future...
Which you hope he would.
Yeah. On the podcast he's doing with someone else.
Yeah.
It's a very valid point. We just miss him. You know what I mean? We've got him on the sofa there on a cushion, and you're on his mug. But it's great to have you here.
It's great to be here.
You know what I mean?
Star of episode 2, Cut Loose.
Was that what it's called?
Yeah, Cut Loose. Yeah.
Because you cut them.
Cut the brakes.
Cut the brakes.
It was a long time ago.
That.
Yeah.
And it was a popular episode for a lot of people.
Very popular.
Yeah, well, until recently it's got overtaken by, what was it? It was your sister's favourite, wasn't it?
Yeah, my sister.
Now been usurped.
Yeah, I've been usurped by Tom Keegan.
Tom Keegan, which has also had a very massive reaction online. So, yeah, thank you very much for listening to that one.
Stop this episode right now and go and watch Flashdance.
Yeah.
Right, because it is...
Which is a great name.
Oh, yeah.
That is a great name.
The Ballad of Vandersnoot.
Yeah. Sam actually listened to that episode with Beth in the car that we're driving up to.
Don't make it sound like I don't usually listen to it.
Wait, no, you did. You said you enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I did listen to it.
Yeah.
I think just to remind viewers, listeners, that Sam is Harry's housemate. I don't know if you mentioned that just before. But
no, but we can mention that.
Yeah. What I was also going to say is Sam joined us in Edinburgh. I know we mentioned this on the last podcast, but Sam joined us in Edinburgh. We went and watched Please Love Me, which is Clementine's show, which has also been on the pod before as a guest and as a guest host. And the guest who we have got today, a word that I'm saying guest a lot, is Gareth Hart. And Gareth Hart is a voiceover artist who actually did the voiceovers for Clem Show. Big segues there. Yeah. But I thought it was all valid and a nice way of getting us into the guest.
I know. We were on a path. You went round. You came back on the path. But the main thing is we've swapped one heart for another. No relation, by the way, Gareth and Ben. I think we need to state that just in case anyone thinks, God, they're thin on the ground and they're now just getting relatives in. That's not the case. Ben doesn't talk to his family. That is also not true.
But yeah, Gareth Hart, no relation to Ben Hart. Gareth is a voiceover artist, an actor, and does impressions as well, which I'm very excited to get him on the pod to see what he can actually do. I think go on, sorry.
I wanted to bring someone like Morgan Freeman into a story. You know what I mean? Something like that. I'm expecting some big impressions.
Are you feeling in any way intimidated? Because I would say that you're quite a decent impressionist.
I don't think I'm that good, mate.
Well, I think you do accents, voices. I think that's your role in this whole podcast.
You do them to the point where you want someone to compliment you on them. Do you know what I mean? He'll sort of do an impression, and then there's that sort of like anticipation of, are they going to say it was good or not?
Yeah, well, there's just the bass neediness to him that I think it comes through.
I appreciate all of that. That does wonders for me. But in terms of impressionists, there is a fella called Charlie Hopkins who you might have gig with. Charlie, he's an impressionist.
I'm not sure,
but he does he's like a full-time impressionist as well, and he did the More Than Freeman. I've got that right. Do you remember that?
Oh, right, the more than advert. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, because he's Morgan Freeman, he's shit hot, and I know he's done bits and pieces with it. But Charlie's great, and like he was on stage, he would do like loads of the Peaky Blinders and stuff like that. And I think if you're doing impressions and they're done well, they're great. If you're doing them and they're like lukewarm, it's one of them where people are like, you're guessing, they're like, no, it's actually this person. You think.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that Gareth lives up to your standards.
Yeah, we can set him up here.
But I know. Because it might be the first pod I walk off.
But I'm thinking of what else that we can share with the guests, which isn't related to the guests. Have we got anything that we want to talk about this week?
Well, have you spoken about your successful couple of weeks in
of
Edinburgh,
course,
you
That's
doing
the
your
point.
show?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we don't have to talk about it.
There. I thought
Basically, obviously, I was up at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival doing Grenade, and I was there for 2 weeks. Lewis came to watch the show, give me some, just seeing where it was at, didn't you?
I'm the producer / cameraman, so
he's the producer first, camera, and then friend.
Yeah,
that's the order.
Entertainer third.
Yeah. But it was good. We had a good 2.5 weeks up there doing the show, and the people that came really enjoyed it, which I was very grateful for. And I had some nice reviews as well from the audience.
You're buzzing off them reviews.
I am. Yeah. It was because the show is centered around this kind of metaphor of a grenade. I had a lot of people afterwards being like, that very much resonated with me, and then a chap after the show has obviously reviewed it. I'd only found this recently, and he said that the show made him actually address the grenade he had in his own life, and he's obviously I'm hoping that's a positive.
There's some responsibility in what you're doing.
Yeah. The body of 8 people were found this.
So, just if you was not aware, you probably should be if you've been following us on this journey. Harry's show is called Grenade, and what's that? Sorry,
it's a great name.
Yeah, it is a great name. Okay. But I was just saying, just in case you didn't know, that's why he's saying grenade a lot. And so basically a grenade, what is a grenade, Harry, to you?
A grenade is a problem in your life that you know you should be dealing with, but you maybe don't. And it might be in your relationship, your job, your family, just another area of your life, but something you know you kind of got to be dealing with and you don't. And the chap after the show, there was one guy in particular that stayed to kind of speak to me, and I was like, I appreciate what you're saying, pal, but I'm not the person you need to be speaking to.
He left his kids at the show, didn't he? You had to look after them that evening.
Yeah.
I've had enough of you two.
We've said I'm going to have them every other weekend.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. It was a good Fringe run. I enjoyed myself, and obviously we've got the recording for the special next week. Wednesday, Thursday. We had a meeting about that today, which was good.
Correct.
Yeah, very. Sam was impressed at the size of the crew.
All right, yeah.
The number of the crew.
Yeah, not just like the physical size.
He was massive.
Yeah. You can only work an hour shoot if you've got a 42-inch waistline.
Yeah, or a very tiny waistline, just like 1 inch waistline, 42.
He could operate 2 cameras either side of the room.
Yeah.
Look at the wingspan on that man.
Yeah. But excited for the special at the end of the month. That's at Cultplex, sold out, 2 solo shows.
Yeah, and if you're watching and you've bought tickets for it, thank you so much, because it has been amazing, like the kind of support people have shown over the past definitely 8 months, but this has been in the pipework for about 18 months. And then stick with us, because in 18 months' time, we're doing a 500-seater. And if I half fill it, I'm going to be gutted.
But I was going to say, in terms of support, thank you once again for the support in the pod. Obviously, we're getting loads more listens than we were 2-3 months ago when we started this thing. It's building, it's getting there. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that. Keep downloading the podcast wherever you get them, because it is massively helping. And I reckon we get into it.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, so this is going to be All Made Up with Gareth Hart.
It's all made up again. It's all made up again. It's all made up again. It's all made up again.
So Gareth, thank you very much for joining us on the All Made Up podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So me and Gareth, like I mentioned before, we met each other at drama school. You was doing the BA course, I was doing the Masters.
Yeah, I did the 3 year.
Yeah, and I think from that point you was always doing the voices, weren't you? Like impressions wise and things like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I did things when I was younger that like I'd always listen to different cartoons or whatever, and I'd be like, oh, does it sound like that? But the problem is I watch like people who do impressions now, and they've clearly tried to do it for 4 or 5 years, and it still doesn't sound right. And I'm very much if I can't do it in the first 3 tries, I'll just give up, and it's not even acceptable anymore.
How many voices do you reckon that you've got in your bank now?
I don't know, because I dropped some as well, because I just get fed up of it. So like Alan Rickman died, and I went, I'm not doing Snape anymore. But then people bring it up, and I'm like,
you just killed him off.
I didn't do it first. J.K. Rowling did it first.
Yeah.
So that's not me. But I don't know.
Hold on, are you saying J.K. Rowling killed Alan Rickman?
Allegedly, I'm going to chuck an allegedly in, but no, I don't know. There's like I say, every now and then I'll do a notes page of, and I'll go, right, I can do that, and then I'll forget about it, and then I'll come back to it and go, I don't like him anymore, I don't like that anymore, and that's been cancelled. But so I don't. It's in the. I could get to 100 if I tried.
100?
I think I could.
That's some good going.
I
That.
think if I try, and there might be some niche things in there, but it might be one word. It might be like Donald Duck sneezing, like Tom Cruise can do, but he'll go in.
So, like, what I was just going to say, from like your most popular to the nichest voice that you've got, what would you say is the most requested?
For a long time, it was the X Factor guy, especially when I first started at drama school. Peter Dixon, because everyone just because it was my mate John. And it like John Bode, and that was a great name to have as a like an X Factor name.
Also remember from X Factor is that Rachel Adedeji. That name
all the
sticks
time.
in my head.
Do you know, when I hear that voice, I think of comedy nights that have that as their like, are you ready to start tonight's comedy show? And you're like in a flat roof golf club, just like fucking hell.
You say that, I've done that. So
Right, okay. There you go.
on a night at a golf club.
And there was no acts, it was just you doing 100 impressions.
It was me and my thinner mate doing Max and Paddy. And
oh, really?
Just had black coats on and a daft headset that didn't fix to any sort of fitting or anything.
But did it go well?
I made money. So
yeah? So you did a Max and Paddy play?
It was like a comedy night. So I'd done 2 before. I'd done like murder mystery nights.
Oh, right.
And I wrote them and I cast them, and it was like it was a really good thing. But then the third one, I want to do like a comedy night, because this was before I went to drama school. So I went, right, let's pull out your Monty Pythons and your 2 Ronnies, and I did the ice cream sketch from 2 Ronnies.
Right.
He reels off about 40 different flavours of ice cream.
Can you still do it?
So they had strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, dairy vanilla, Cornish vanilla, vanilla ice, peach, pear, plum, pineapple, pomegranate, coconut, fruit nut, rhubarb, barbed wire, Knickerbocker glory, toffee, coffee, Neapolitan, cosmopolitan, marshmallow, spearmint, peppermint, pepper spray, orange, lemon, lime, lychee, passion fruit, dragon fruit, star fruit, ugly fruit, cranberry, blueberry, blackberry, gooseberry, Oreo, cookie dough, peanut butter, and banana. Were the ones that I'd remembered.
That's still going though, man.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I was thinking standing ovation at the end. I was getting ready.
Did you know as a kid then, like, because obviously going to study drama, but having all these kind of voices in your head and different, like, you obviously...
Voices, not in like a mental way.
Yeah, I walked around with voices in my head, and my mum very much ignored me. See, I did drama classes at like the age of 5 purely because I was very unsociable. I didn't want to talk to people and stuff like that. My mum went, just go and it'll get him some confidence. And then as he gets older, he's obviously going to talk to people. You work in a retail job or whatever. But it is little things like on cartoons, or I watch older cartoons and like your Looney Tunes or whatever, and I'll just start doing little bits or daft YouTube videos, just anything that are just like two lines, and I go, oh, I can do those 2 lines, and I sound all right.
That's unreal.
Well, I think what we've got to do, just before we get into it, maybe we've got to not to pry on your impressions, but I think we need a couple. I was
preparing for you to ask.
Yeah.
them,
So, like I said, what are the most popular ones at the moment for you?
I think I like doing at the moment. I mean, Harry Kane was quite prevalent at the moment, so that was a good one. And then I think Homer Simpson's just timeless, so I always chuck him in.
So because I seen the one you did, I think it was the Lad Bible or something like that.
They did like that thing on Twitter where it was like, oh, just join in and give us an impression. And it was my mate who knew somebody at Lad Bible and went, oh, get me mate on, he'll do it. Because people would join in and do crap, and they'd go, oh, thanks for wasting half an hour of our time.
But right, okay, because the way that they did it on the Lad Bible thing, it was like a case of asking you questions and you'd answer them back.
Yeah.
In Harry Kane sort of style. So I reckon you ask as if it was like a sports pundit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good.
Right, German one.
Yeah, I thought you brushed up on your German because I have.
Well, obviously he had his Bundesliga debut, didn't he, the other day?
No, well, Harry did.
Harry, that's Dutch. The only German I can do is like camp German, right? And I just
you
don't.
can be an English reporter.
You can absolutely be an English
What
reporter.
sort of camp?
You're talking like,
Oh, yes, a discotheque.
yeah. I know, but we don't want to encourage it. Right. All right.
Just say it, mate. Just say it.
I'm trying to think of your jobs. All right. Jesus Christ, here, lads. So Harry, obviously big game in the Bundesliga, a goal and an assist. How do you feel?
Yeah, obviously it's a really difficult time for German football because there's not a lot of eyes on it. But hopefully, me coming over here and scoring goals, getting assists, really helping the team. It's going to be something that can really push German football playing his Champions League as well. It's the biggest competition going. I just hope that I can really make it big here.
Yeah. Well, I think we're all really happy you're great at football, Harry. How difficult was that conversation when you told Daniel Levy, I'm leaving?
Yeah, obviously it's really difficult. I've been at the club a long time. It's my home. It's very difficult for me, but we have to move on. Got to get a new challenge, and I just want to play football at the highest level. And it's nice that Spurs have got some money for me as well, and I can try German sausage.
Superb. I enjoyed that. That was great.
That's a belter. Oh, also, Gareth, I feel like you've been watching the podcast from afar. You've sort of like been seeing us grow along the way. How did you first sort of hear of it? Was it through me or Clem?
It was literally TikTok. I'd seen a video and I went, well, I know him, so let me have a look. And then it just from there. And then weirdly enough, not long after, Clem had messaged me obviously about the show and doing some voices for it. And then, but yeah, I've just been watching and enjoying.
Yeah, because you do the Voices in Clem show, which when Please Love Me is Clem's show. We speak about it quite a lot on the pod, but just for anyone who's just tuned in. Because I thought it was Zoe's boyfriend who did the voices because he's an actor. Because I just had it in my head as him, but it's you. Whatever.
that bit, and Clem shows it's funny, and she's great. But for me, the funniest bit is you saying that you fell in a canal. It's one of the funniest things I've heard all year.
It's so bizarre because obviously they're coming to me with this clear, and it's based on a real person, and they want it as authentic as possible. I'm sat there going, I haven't got a clue who you are. I'm falling in a canal. I got it. I got the script like at midnight the day before, and I'm like, my wife's going, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, well, I fell in a canal here, and I don't know why. I mean, my cheese twists are all soggy, and so.
Well,
yeah.
It went down a treat, didn't it, in Edinburgh? It's been doing really well. But I reckon we get into the actual reason we're here. So this is going to be All Made Up with Gareth Hart. Woo.
It's all made up, baby.
So, Gareth, you've seen the pod before, you know how it works, but for the benefit of the listener and the viewer, I'll go through it again. So, in front of you, you've got 3 pots, a red pot, a green pot, and an orange one, like a starting sentence, a finishing sentence, and some prompts in between for the story we're going to build together. But before we even dive into them, we're going to create a character.
Yeah.
This is like a writer's room. You're the lead writer. We're your little assistants. So, what would you like your character's name for today to be?
Right. I'm going with Tarquin Fondue.
Tarquin.
Fondue.
I've got a strong idea what he looks like already.
Yeah. Right, okay. And how old is Tarquin?
I'm going to put early 80s.
Oh, right.
Early
I had him as a
80s.
young lad.
Interesting.
I did at first until you said early 80s.
Yeah.
Right, so he's early 80s.
I say 82.
Right, that's it. That is early.
That is quite early in the 80s. Anyway,
if you were like 89, I was like, I think he's touching 90 there.
Mid to late, really. If anything.
But what is age? So he's 82. Is he a married man? Is he a widow?
No, I think single all his life. I think he's just never. Yeah, not to go too far, but I in my head, I think he's career driven, and it's always been for that instead of any sort of relationship.
Okay.
Right, okay. So he's favoured the career. We've got to ask what sort of career has he gone for?
I'm thinking it's something, maybe like a brain surgeon or something.
Right, okay.
Of all the things, I didn't think brain surgeon. Okay.
I'll go brain surgeon.
Yeah, I like that.
So is he still working at 82? Just shaking like a shitting dog as he's going to
he's not very good
operate?
at teaching it or performing. No, I think he's moved on and he's like a highly regarded ex-brain surgeoner.
Right, yeah.
But he's.
Can you imagine you're in hospital and you need surgery and you get introduced to your doctor and he's called Dr. Fondue?
Yeah.
I'd be like, I want a second doctor.
Yeah.
He's going to go dipping around in my head.
Dr. Fondue.
Yeah, but you can call me Pudding. Right, so he's 82, and he's like, how famous is he as a brain surgeon?
world-renowned.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
okay.
World-renowned.
I think he's
brain
one of them
surgeon.
who's giving sort of advice now. Maybe his physical capabilities have gone, but he's still sort of like maybe in the operating theatre advising or something like, you know what I mean? He's still in that world. He's still part of
He's
it.
the Attenborough of brains. Right.
Right, just doing
Somebody
documentaries
knows.
on surgery.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's maybe what he is doing now. Maybe
Here we
he-
have a very poorly man. Can you do Attenborough?
Well, there is a small creature in the side of this brain that...
I like that.
yeah. Sorry.
Just imagine going, you have a tumour. Oh, God. It sounds so good in your voice, though.
It's right, but all for the wrong reason.
Right, okay. And is he living... Well, what year is this? Is this 2023?
No, I'm thinking like 1920s.
Right, okay. So if he's at the peak of his career at the 1920s...
But brain surgery isn't.
Well, this is what I mean.
Yeah.
What is he... So,
So
if
he's
he's...
well renowned because it's something that people are going, we haven't fiddled in there before.
Yeah.
Why is he so good at it?
Right.
He's doing it with a chisel.
Yeah.
Wow, he's like, I'm telling you, cutting edges.
They're still alive. when
Cutting
he-
heads.
Your surgery is sponsored by Black & Decker.
Right, so just for the listener and the viewer, right, so in the 1920s, he's 82 in the 1920s, which means he was born in the 1840s or something
Before
like that.
That's quick maths, that, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is, if he is at 82, this all-knowing brain surgeon, what sort of things is he saying at that point about the brain, which would be revelatory? You know what I mean? What
I
is
thought
he?
it's in general. I'm about to say, I don't think it's PC, mate.
No, he's been around that long.
I think he's saying things like, let's not just cut sections out of it
Yeah.
and hope that fixes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's like anti-lobotomy.
Yeah.
Right.
Leeches aren't everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I
just
get-
chucking
yeah.
them in there and hoping for the best.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I just think he's going to have, obviously, for the standards that we've got now in brain surgery, he's going to seem very intelligent to them, but probably
Maybe
not very
he's the
intelligent.
first one to suggest, like, keyhole surgery. And they're like you can't do that, you know what I mean? And he's like, we can. We don't have to just saw the top of the head off and, like, do it that way. We can go in, you know.
Yeah. We haven't got cameras, but we're going to give it a go.
It's like when they do keyhole surgery now, you sometimes go in your thigh and they'll be, like, checking somewhere in your back.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's never like it's never where you usually go though.
That's terrifying.
You know what I mean? So they put like wires in you that go. So maybe that's his thing. He's like, we'll do keyhole surgery, and they're like, what do you mean? He's
Mate,
like,
did that happen to you?
no, but if you do keyhole surgery, I'm telling you, wherever you need operating on, they go in from the furthest point possible.
Yeah, I had knee surgery. They went it through my ear.
yeah, exactly. But that is the thing, honestly.
You'd be going, well, hang on, it's definitely down there, the problem.
No, I know what
What are you
he's
doing?
He's like, I'm
I was
telling you.
taught by Dr. Fondue. I know.
I just like the little... That's terrifying. Terrifying.
It is.
Right, okay, so he stayed single. Has he had any sort of, like, love interests along the way?
There's a war there, isn't there? And I think there's got to be. I'd like to put some poetry in there from him at some point.
I do like
Some
that.
sort of long lost.
Right, so what wars has he been through? So it's World War One, obviously.
Yeah.
Can we
The Boer War.
The Boer War?
Yeah.
Have we got years on them sort of thing?
A long time ago.
There was a
you
few
know,
of them.
British Empire at its peak.
World War One's just finished, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
1940 to 1919. That is.
There's definitely some wars going on in Africa during that 1800 period. Like you're talking the Battle of Rorke's Drift, right? The film Zulu.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
He knows.
Right. Okay.
There's some viewers absolutely loving this.
Yeah, my dad being one of them.
Yeah.
Zulu, Michael Caine's first ever massive blockbuster, and there's like a little bit in that film. Do you see like discrepancies? Yeah, obviously set in the 1800s. He's shouting charge, and they've coloured the front of his teeth, but underneath pearly whites, and you see it, and you think that you've not done the makeup right there.
And you look at Dark Knight and you go, he's shit out in that.
Yeah. And he's been alive since the 1800s as well.
Right, okay, I think one thing before we sort of like get into the pots is whereabouts is this set? Are we keeping it local?
I think maybe like Cambridge.
Cambridge.
Quite
Right, okay.
academic.
esteemed. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and here's one, once again, just before we get into it. Any children? He might not have had like a wife or a partner, but is there any sort of like bastards in his life, or
Yeah.
that is the correct term?
That is the term.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
we're
yeah,
in the
no.
1920s.
Yeah,
you know what
that's what I mean. I'm just trying to...
Yeah.
I think in his late years he's adopted.
He's adopted.
Not himself, but he has adopted somebody. He's been adopted at 76.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Yeah.
They've got younger he's family. A bit old.
Yeah, he'll do. So he's adopted kids then?
I think as his career's sort of peaked and he's coming down and he's teaching more, I think he's adopted.
Okay.
A child.
A child.
And he did definitely fight in a few wars.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's 82.
He's 82
in the 1920s.
But he could have fought, like the Enigma Code and stuff like that, and you had people fighting it, not on the front line, but behind the scenes.
I feel like he's a bit too smart to be in the trenches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't
waste, wouldn't you?
You wouldn't want to lose someone like Tarquin.
No.
Not on the front line. You wouldn't waste him. But and just the kid. How old is the kid now?
So the kid now. I put the kid at 10.
Right. Okay.
So
okay.
he adopted a kid at the age of 72.
Yeah.
That's a.
I know. I quite like the idea as a guy who's got this like soft middle.
Yeah.
Because he's a fondue.
Oh,
I like that.
Come on, guys.
You're smiling at me as if
I know.
there's more to that.
Yeah.
I really couldn't get it.
Yeah, and a name, and then we're definitely getting into the cards. A name on the child.
Name on the chat. So he'll have taken fondue.
Yeah.
Is his first name chocolate?
Chocolate.
I got Bradbury.
Bradbury fondue. Right.
Bradbury fondue.
Yeah.
Which is normally a last name, but I think it just.
Yeah, I don't think his original name was Bradbury either. I think he's made him change his name.
Yeah.
He's that sort of guy. It was James at first. He's like, no, you're Bradbury now.
No, sod that,
Yeah. Okay, I think we've built a nice little bit of flesh on this character here. So let's dive into the cards, pick up one of the green ones, and where there is a blank, Gareth, say Tarquin.
The shopkeeper gave Tarquin a tenner and they realised it had their face on it.
Right.
That's relevant.
That's good.
So Tarquin's face was on a £10 note which got given to him. So let's find out the ending for it as well. So if you pick up one of the red ones, Gareth, and we're going to find out where this story ends.
I honestly didn't think we would be here.
Okay. Very vague, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
No?
So let's go into this £10 note business. What shop has he gone into? Is it like the corner shop? Is it a local supermarket?
I think he's totally unaware that his face has now been put on the £10 note. Right.
He's a scientist, isn't
Yeah,
he? They
yeah.
put like
It's like Darwin on it. Or
Yeah, exactly.
anything like
Yeah.
So they were like, he's not done anything new recently, but you have, so you're on the tenner, right? And he's obviously gone to buy, say, something. I imagine he's buying, does he smoke?
Yep.
Right, okay, yeah, I imagine some maybe tobacco for his pipe, something like that.
Yeah, but I think what you're also forgetting is if he's buying some tobacco and he gets given back a note with his face on, that means he's paid with an even bigger note.
Yeah, and that's his thing. That's his thing. You know what I mean? They're like, that's like 10 shillings, and he's like, there's £100 note.
But that's because he gets paid just in massive notes. He's never paid in change. He never has
check.
change. Comedy check.
Right. Here we
For
go.
the hospital.
I feel like I've got maybe an angle here, right? So obviously he's a massive scientist in his time, isn't he? So very famous, like you said, like a Charles Darwin-esque sort of presence in that time. So he doesn't usually shop at the corner shop. He doesn't usually go to a supermarket. He maybe has a butler or a waiter or people on his estate, staff who are going to the shop for him. He, by chance, just needs to buy some tobacco, goes into a local shop, pays for it, gets given back this note, and he's unaware at this point that he's been minted, basically.
Yeah.
Does he feel good about that? Does he feel bad about that? Is he angry? Is he like, what's his thoughts on finding himself on this £10 note?
I think based on how old like not a lot of 80-somethings knocking about as you would have these days. So
That's a good point.
I think he's waning a bit, and I think he sort of recognises it and goes, I sort of look like him.
Right.
And it's like, because he's not doing anything, there's not much going on anymore. He's like, that's his whole life now for the next week. And he'll tell people, the bloke on this tenner looks a bit like me.
Right.
Oh
So
my
it's not
God.
obvious.
No, I think it would be to younger people.
Is it his face at 82, or is it his face as a younger man?
That is a very good point.
Yeah.
That is a very good point. I reckon it's his face when he's younger.
What if it's his school photo?
Well, sat at the front. At the end of the bench.
I think that's a good plot line. I think it's him, his younger self. But what proof do you have in 1920 of you when you was... When did cameras come about?
I think they've been around since the 1800s.
Yeah.
But,
do you reckon?
Yeah, you're taking pictures under
But
a
he's not
bedsheet,
got
aren't
loads
you?
of photos
But they take 4 hours to take. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
a
you're not-
non-smiling one for sure.
Yeah.
Because I imagine your picture being took and then you're not getting that picture sort of developed for ages. So he's just, maybe this is a picture, like we said, it's him when he's younger, but he's not sure and maybe he's trying to find out if it is him. And that's like a little bit of a quest line for himself, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I think that, and obviously if he's going to have some he's going to be mixing in quite high circles of people.
Yeah.
Maybe it's almost like the scientist that's now gone mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
'Cause people are like trying to
Yeah.
convince him, like, it's you. He's like, it's fucking not.
And I think it could be one of them like dad and lad adventure stories. Is it like Bradbury? Does Bradbury believe him? And he's like, is the only one that does believe him? And he sort
Because
of.
also Bradbury didn't know him as a younger man. He's only known him as an old man. So it's like an adventure of like finding out who your dad used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I'm liking this.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's great, dude.
Yeah, I like this. Well, let's say that obviously he's in Cambridge. He's got this £10 note. He says to the shopkeeper, "That's me." The shopkeeper is like,
Get out.
"Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Door queue.
Yeah.
yeah." So he leaves there. What's his next port of call? Is there someone?
I think he rings his son.
Who's he ringing?
It's,
yeah.
it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory run home and show someone.
Yeah,
innit?
right. I think we've got to be careful here. Mobile phones.
Mate, you do phones like that with it, like, you know what I mean? Like doing that, winding.
arm bit.
That's what you're doing. Yeah. Hiya.
Charades.
Yeah. Exactly. Just paper cups.
Yeah, I think like you said, is he well liked in general?
I think there's different opinions. Certainly as he's got older, but the respect is sort of overarching of that. So he's people don't question his like personal stuff because he's just too well respected for you to.
I was going to say, what if the people below him, he's that good at his job, right? Like he is, at the moment, Manchester City are streets above everybody else, right? So let's say he's like that, and all the scientists that are below him are like, the thing is, if we kill him and then look in his brain, we'll be able to get all the information that he has.
That is a good
know what I
point.
mean?
Get all of his brain.
Yeah, they're like, that is what we need.
Cerebral cortex. That's where we need.
Yeah.
But, and that's how they think. They'll learn more.
This note has put him in the spotlight in the 1920s, and people are like, right, if we want to be as clever as him and we want to know more, we're gonna track him down.
Maybe that's made him relevant again. Maybe the people that were under him who were starting to get notoriety were going, right, we're almost getting him out. He's 82. He's on the way out. Oh, he's on a £10 note.
Yeah.
Now everyone knows him again.
Yeah, I think so.
So what if then it's like it's a ploy to get rid of him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julius Caesar
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Of the brain.
of the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So does he speak to his son about this note, and we're going down the route of he's like slowly spiraling?
I think getting to the Mint, definitely.
Okay.
But then if he's got to go home and get a car there to get someone to drive him, and he's gone, you come with me, lad. We're onto it. I'm on a note.
Yeah.
So how do you think Bradbury reacts to that?
Were.
Yeah.
Is that one of
He's
your
already
voices?
grabbed him and moved him in a car.
I think his son sounds like Harry Kane. That's what I think. I think for a guy
Yeah,
that
of course, it's great to have your face on a tempo now.
yeah.
in the car.
I love it, the fact it goes between like Mancunian and then Harry Kane. Like, super. Get in the fucking car. So yeah, maybe. So maybe he says to Bradbury, "I'm on a £10 note, right, and we're gonna go to the Mint, the Royal Mint." To go and see if this is legit. So they're obviously in Cambridge. Let's say the Royal Mint's in London. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, everything's in London, even the industry, right? So they travel there in I imagine like a Rolls Royce.
Is he
Yeah.
is he driving the car?
No, he has a driver that's even older than him.
Is there
He's like
anything?
he's nearly 100. Near like
Yeah.
Right.
98.
You
Okay.
have to wind him up to get him going.
Yeah, like the butler in Tomb Raider. You put in the freezer. Like him.
We mentioned
it.
him the other day. Right.
That's gone on my voice, is that?
Okay. Right. So they're on the way to the Royal Mint in the back of a Rolls Royce. Who's on the back seats? They're on the back seats.
Yeah.
That is yeah.
That is superb. that.
Yeah.
Textbook Coleman.
Yeah. Just
Any
some
dog
references.
toys?
Any dog toys on the back? No. Right. Okay. They're on the way to the Royal Mint. They're in the back of a Rolls Royce. Let's get a prompt in there. Spice up this story a bit.
They won an all-expenses-paid trip to Benidorm.
Benidorm in the 1920s.
Right.
That would be superb.
Right.
That's a long boat journey.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah.
A stag doing top hats. Like, just what an image.
We're away for 3
Full-length-
months.
Full-length swimwear, the
But it's
stripy
like,
one.
they're, instead of them singing like football chants, they're like an a cappella group. You know what I mean?
Just
Get your
barbershop
tits out.
quartet, yeah.
Right. Okay. So they're on the way to the Royal Mint. Is this note that he's received, is this some sort of ticket as opposed to it being an actual money thing?
Is it peel at the edge?
Yeah, I think there's
He's looking at it and he's like, there's something not right about that. And he's like, the corner comes away a little bit.
Right.
And it's like the Charlie and Chocolate Factory, it's a bit gold.
Right.
Oh, what's going on here? Why is it a bit? He's going, stop touching it. We're nearly there.
So that's his son.
Yeah, he's going. Yeah, he's
His
mad.
son-
I don't know why. He's adopted, isn't he? So he's,
Right.
So
Okay.
his son's peeling away at this note.
oh no, Tarquin is.
I thought,
Because he's forgot when he's going. He's like, he's gone, oh, we're going. Oh, what's all that about then? And then just started playing with it. And he's
Right.
going, what have you forgot what we're doing?
sorry, I love what you're saying, but I do feel like he's given it to Bradbury to hold, and it's him with his hurricane voice.
It should be a gold on his side.
I want a golden boot.
That's no way. I've got a Benidorm this week. I bet that's the gaffer if I'm going to leave Germany for a week.
Yeah, right. So, fucking hell.
Yeah,
His
so
son's-
Bradbury,
Yeah. Bradbury's like, can I have a look at it? He's sort of like messing around with it, and then Bradbury mentions that it's sort of peeling at the corner. So I think there's been like this big marketing sort of ploy maybe with these new sort of banknotes. I don't know. I'm just trying to fix it into the story in some way. Where because all the other scientists were saying are still thinking that what I'm trying to say is, do you know where I'm trying to get to?
Have they
Sure.
seen these notes yet?
Go on,
Well, I'm
Well,
saying, surely, if you're saying this whole thing is that the scientists want to kill Dr. Fondy, right?
Dr. Fondy,
Yeah. Surely this is a ploy from them to get him,
Yes.
Oh,
like out to a
lovely.
place maybe
Yeah.
where they don't extradite or
Yeah.
like the
To
police
Benidorm.
to Benidorm.
It was like, as soon as he bought the tobacco, the shop was packed down. The top, you know what I mean? Horse and cart went off. They were like, "We've got him!"
Right.
Sides went up.
Yeah,
Case.
exactly.
Because they know that like the £10 note would pique his interest.
Yeah.
And then they know a surgeon is going to want to get to grips with what it is. They knew he was going to peel.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh,
And it just happened to be his son, Bradbury, who's peeled away at it. He's a bit gutted, I imagine, Tarquin. Like, oh, shit, it's...
Well, he thinks he's just wrecked it. And
Yeah.
He's just, why have you done that? It's a 5-minute drive and you've ruined it. Why have you done that?
But he's like...
I was just playing with it. I don't know. She gave it me. I don't know.
Right. So they get.
Right.
What's he find underneath? Is there anything?
You've won a trip to Benidorm. Or,
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So he peels it off.
It's like, but it's got to be like eye catching. So I think like
Yeah.
like it's a gold. Like,
It's a gold ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gold
it
ticket.
is
Does-
a golden ticket.
And does he read it to his dad what he's won?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he stays silent. I
Yeah.
don't know. He
He's-
goes,
You have won a trip to Benidorm.
and he goes, what?
Yeah. Are they taking a plane there? Are they taking a boat there? How are they
I
getting
think if
there?
you're taking a plane, that is that is a commercial flight. Is going to.
1920s.
Yeah, mate. They had little like. They did.
But we're saying this with such authority what they did and didn't
It's not like
have.
they went there in what's his name, fucking
Right, here we go.
Thingy's wingsuit.
Here
It's
we
not
go.
long after the war.
It's
though,
not
is
long
it?
after
I
the
think,
war.
like,
Exactly.
has anyone got any money?
It's like a double wing plane.
A biplane.
Right?
That's
I
a
imagine.
biplane.
So it's,
Yeah, biplane.
biplane, scarves on. Right.
Like Snoopy.
Yeah, across the channel. Yeah, I imagine. Yeah.
I think so. I think because the war's just finished, they're like, fucking hell, we've got loads of planes left here. We're like,
What
are
if
we
he
gonna-
wing walks there?
Well, I'm just thinking they're like, we've got loads of planes left here. Obviously, there's no war anymore. We might as well just use them. Let's obviously partner up with this competition. you can use our planes to get you there. You know what I mean? It's part of the experience, part of the journey. So they go there in, is it a two-man chopper, a two-man plane?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, front and back, isn't it?
Front
so
and back.
he can fly a plane.
This is fine.
So he's flying himself.
He can fly a plane at 82.
He's flying himself and his son to Benidorm.
It would seem.
No, I once again, I like the idea of obviously.
No, I think his driver can drive a plane as well.
I think Bradbury is very intelligent for like a 10-year-old boy, and it's one
Didn't
of.
sound it earlier, mate.
It's like getting the
What he
back
does on the
down.
pitch is different.
Yeah.
So who's flying this plane? Is it him or his son? Getting him there.
I think it's the doctor, because if he's
Yeah.
I think of him as like a decorated war hero,
Right.
right? Do you know what I mean? So maybe
yeah.
he was a pilot. Okay.
And he was dropping supplies
Yeah.
in the war.
Brain supplies.
Yeah.
Remember,
But
he's a
but he was
brain.
a bit old by then, so he's just dropped him in no man's land. So then everyone's gone, well, I can't get them.
Yeah.
So they're just there.
They've arrived in London. They get to Gatwick, right? Straight through arrivals, bit duty free. Yeah. Okay.
What they getting at duty free?
I reckon.
Big Toblerone.
Yeah.
Massive Toblerone.
That's funny.
And they were even bigger then.
Yeah.
They didn't say party size.
Imagine he's telling Bradbury, you can't take it on the plane. It's too much weight.
I have to take the Toblerone. You'll
Yeah.
have to wait.
Yeah. That's too much. I reckon probably getting some booze, some gin. Gin's probably big back then. You know.
Yeah, mother's ruin.
Was sun cream big back then?
Yeah, defo. Yeah, sun's always been a pretty big thing in the history of the world, isn't it? You know what I mean? Pretty hot. Yeah, so I reckon he's probably got some. It's not spray then, is it? Though it's all
it's
just like
a
a lotion.
Really thick as well.
yeah.
Really thick.
It's like
He's-
mayo.
Yeah.
It is mayo.
It is mayo.
Yeah.
Hellman's have just cashed in. We've got loads of mayo left because no one had it. 'Cause we were all fighting.
Stick it in a sun cream tube.
Make
Go
it
on.
yellow.
Yeah.
We'll turn the tub yellow. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And obviously the flight's called gate number 57. Right, they get the way to the gate. Just like one person going, great, you're flying the plane. Get on the plane. Yeah.
I think
And
it's
he's like that way.
Yeah. Air traffic controller's a guy on a ladder.
Yeah, just shouting.
Yeah.
I can't
Whoa,
even.
whoa. What are you doing, dickhead? He's about to take off. Some guy with a candle.
It's gone again.
Oh, twat.
He plays the music.
Who's that nutter waving two candles about that in broad daylight?
That's funny.
Right, okay, I like that. So, I was about to say 57 gates is a lot at that point. Surely it's like gate 1 or 2. 50.
I think any gates is a lot of
No,
them.
maybe,
I think
maybe they
Gatwick-
put them in for the war and then went, we don't actually need that many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're talking about a field, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we're talking about like tarmac.
I reckon they've probably done park and ride. You know what I mean?
Right, okay. They're travelling through the air. They're going over.
Flying, yeah.
Yeah, flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
The
flying.
giant snowman.
Right. Is there anything happening while they're in the air? Are we getting a prompt in there, or are we waiting until they land?
I don't know. I think they've got to hit the floor.
So
haven't they?
just to clarify, he's flying the plane.
He's flying it.
Bradbury's in the back.
Bradbury's
Yeah,
in the back.
Just the two of them.
Yeah.
And what's the plan when they get there?
When they get there, they're going to have a lovely holiday.
I think enjoy themselves, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're thinking. But do they know what they're getting? Do they know that Benidorm is like lads?
If Benidorm is as it is now back then, if you're coming from Cambridge and you're going to 1920s but / 2023 Benidorm, you'd be like, this is unreal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Imagine
I
in the 1920s someone going, do you want a Jaeger bomb? Be like, what is that? It's be like,
Half of them duck.
that's funny. That is very funny.
Right, okay. I reckon we'll find out what type of experience they're going to have when they arrive. Have they got a transfer from the airport?
I think somehow his driver's there. I think he's flew another plane just to pick him up.
Right, okay. I like that. Right, so let's
No,
say,
no, actually, no. Now that I think about it, I think a Spanish version of his cousin.
Right, yeah.
He's got
Right.
on the blower and he's gone. Yeah, I'll pick him up.
Can we
But in a Spanish
just
accent.
for my own amusement? Can we get a name for this guy?
Oh, as in the Spanish driver.
Yeah.
I want to name
Esteban.
Esteban. And
Yeah.
what's the English counterpart called?
Or Sebastian.
Okay.
Esteban Sebastian. Right, okay, so they arrive in Alicante. It's a 40-minute drive to the Strip, usually, to get to Benidorm.
Coming from a legend.
I've been there a few times.
Certified.
Okay, so they're driving along. They arrive at the digs, the hotel. It's all expenses paid. Is it an apartment? Is it? Has it got a swimming pool?
He gets there and he immediately put a wristband on him.
yeah.
It glows in the dark. It's like a block.
Apartment block, right? And just to remind our listeners, in the background, you have got this is a plot by all the other scientists to sort of lure him into Benidorm in order to perform an operation on his brain. Yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Are the scientists part of the hotel staff? Are they? What? Go on.
What if these scientists have built Benidorm? Right. They've created this like Wonderland surprise for him. Right. A bit like they did the tobacco shop. And you know what I mean? It's like a Truman Show. That's what it's like.
They're walking through. They're coming up with this plan. They're going through the university, and they've seen Benny's dorm, and gone. Lads, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to invent a place. And what's it called? Benidorm.
Yeah.
And they've all gone, whoa, that's the most clever thing anyone at Cambridge has ever come
And
up with.
presumably in Benny's dorm it is like carnage.
Yeah.
There's just the Benny is constantly a wreck. Like it's, yeah.
I like. Go on, sorry.
No, you carry.
No, I was just about to say, I like what you said. It's that almost like they've made a world within a
Truman
world.
Show.
Truman Show.
Yeah.
Truman Show-esque, yeah. And it's just to sort of harvest them. They couldn't do it back in Cambridge in the UK because too many eyes.
Everyone knows
Yeah, exactly.
Too many eyes.
Take them out here. Spanish police as well. You know what I mean? Behave.
They carry guns, but they're water pistols.
Yeah. Full of chilli water.
Right, okay. They've got to the complex. They've got the wristbands on. It's all you can eat. They take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Let's get a prompt.
They found someone hiding in their loft.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Damning.
Yeah.
so
I'm really enjoying this.
yeah. So the loft that means that the complex that they're staying at, it's an apartment block, but they've for some reason also got a loft in
I
it.
think they're at the top.
Right.
Yeah.
Therefore, there's a little bit of space before the roof.
Right. Okay. How many floors are in the
Just the one on the
in the whole building?
10.
I'm just thinking, have you got a nice view of Benidorm? Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I've never been to Benidorm. But
Is there a nice view?
Yeah,
Got a lovely view.
I just imagine it's just like sea and then carnage below. Like there's just, you know what I mean? There's not.
Right.
Is
Okay.
it hilly?
It is a bit hilly, yeah. You know what? The beach is actually dead nice at Benidorm. It's Golden Sands. It is really, really nice.
Probably the name of the hotel over there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Golden Sands Hotel.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So they've got a nice view. Someone's been hiding in the loft. What day is it? How many days have they been in Benidorm by this point before they notice someone in the loft? Is it day one? Is it?
Yeah. Go on.
I think it's like maybe the second day. So I think maybe they've got there later on the first day.
Just
Yeah.
got the bearings,
Yeah,
trying to find
got
somewhere
the-
nice to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a look around, and then the morning it's unpacking cases and stuff. And
Yeah. And he's
what's this hatch?
and maybe Bradbury.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just like dying to go to the water park.
Yeah.
Right. And
I just need to go swimming. I really need to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his dad's like, will you just pack it in?
Just
you.
shush.
Yeah. Yeah.
Buy me a football.
I just see the fly away. I just want to kick him out.
Yeah.
I'll do 10 kicky uppies, I promise you. Come on.
Yeah. I reckon that is going on constantly. So he's like, he's just mithering him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's
It
probably
only
like,
worsens the dementia. It's
yeah. He's like, I'm trying to have a good time, but like, I wish I could unadopt you. Right. And maybe it's I just want to say Harry, but maybe Bradbury notices someone in the loft and goes and tells and he's like, there's no one there. You know what I mean?
He's like, Pochettino.
Daniel Levy's having a look at me. I'm sure he is. I can see the shine off his bald head.
But does his lad discover the person in the loft?
I think he's just messing with stuff. Like Tarquin's just sorting the room out and sorting the clothes out or whatever.
Finding a safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the room got a safe, he wants to put
Ironing
his stuff in
board.
it. Ironing board, yeah, checking all
Two
that.
crap cups of milk that you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All them. And he's like pushing things and just messing with all.
Yeah,
sorts. And then
yeah. You're a kid. He's a kid, isn't he? He's
Yeah.
just sort of discovering as much as he can in the room.
Already eating the biscuits.
It's a low ceiling as well because he's managed to touch something
Yeah.
higher up.
So it's ladders to the loft. Maybe it's like a little sort of step up.
Like
He's
a pull down.
Yeah.
a pull down.
definitely.
Yeah.
And then as he's pulled it down, as someone fell through the loft onto the floor of the apartment?
Yeah.
Or has he climbed up and sort of noticed someone up there?
For suspense, it would be good to have him climb up, but for comedy value, falling is
Right. And the person falling, is it a completely new character or is it someone we've already met in the story?
I think it's like an aid to one of the higher up brain surgeons that are trying to get rid of him.
So Tarquin doesn't notice this guy?
So is it to Tarquin, mystery guy, or like does he know?
He'll know of him. They're like a big group, aren't they? And he'll know who's. They'll go to dinners and whatever and go, oh, this is my aid. This is.
So does he fall out in like a full dinner jacket as well? Like he's dicky bow on and that.
Yep.
35-degree heat.
What is he dressed like a what?
Like Monopoly Man. That's what I've got, like a dinner jacket. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he is-
Okay.
I imagine Cambridge, quite bow ties and that type of thing.
What kind of information is he going to try and get from him by staying in the loft?
I think he should have already left, and I think Tarquin's got there early.
Yeah.
And now he's sort of stuck. So he was doing the finishing touches to the room, maybe like you need to get out. They're coming.
The bug in it.
Good backwind with the plane, and they got there 12 hours faster than they should.
They didn't think Bradbury would. They didn't think Bradbury would peel it back like that soon.
Yeah.
Like, we've got to get it done now.
Yeah, I feel like obviously Bradbury's going to be this sort of like saving grace to Tarquin, isn't he? Bradbury's like doing all these things which if it wasn't for him, then everything would be going to plan. But because of his sort of like need to sort of like find new things, messing about with the rapper, he's a very sort of...
I think it shows different levels of intelligence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we're kind of going back to this kind of brain thing as well, just think there's a layer there.
Right, okay, so let's peel back that layer. Right, so he falls through the floor. Mystery guy, what's his name? Or what's her name? Is it female? Is it male?
I'll go with female, and it's Sarah Clottingwood.
Sarah Clottingwood.
Yes.
Right, okay, so Sarah falls to the floor in this apartment. What's the instinct? Does he go to batter her? Does he...
He's only 10.
Yeah.
It's a woman, after all,
Yes.
It's 1920s.
Yeah, but she might be dressed in a different way. You don't know. Like, so yeah, she's on the floor. She's hurt her back, maybe.
Yeah.
What? I'm just trying to think.
Just a dog pile.
Like, does Tarquin go in with the boot, and then Bradbury comes in and sort of... If someone fell through your hotel roof...
I reckon Bradbury's scared.
Yeah, he's
You know what I mean?
He's ran for his dad.
Right, okay. Dad.
Yeah.
That's what he's done, yeah.
So he runs across to his dad, knee slides when he gets there.
Just lifts his shirt.
Gives his dad a hug, and he's just said, someone's just come through the ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah. I reckon that it's a case of like, I did hear a noise, and then he goes in and sees this woman, and immediately goes, Sarah.
Yeah.
Clottingham.
Clottingwood.
Yeah,
Right.
She corrects him.
Yeah.
I thought you was going to say it was going to be one of them like panto sort of things where he's gone to go and fetch his dad. By the time they've got back,
She's gone.
Oh, right.
And it's like before, what are you doing messing with that? What are you doing going up there? He's that sort of like,
Right, okay.
You're annoying.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one there. Let's just go and get something to eat. Let's go down to the pool. Let's enjoy this holiday together. What do you think? I just think it adds that bit of
let's
like...
have that then. So they're not confronting him yet?
They're not confront. I reckon that's happened.
It's a red flag, but only half.
I'll tell you what, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the Bradbury.
Bradbury.
Yeah, the B. Bradbury is going on about it, and he's like, there's no one there, and he goes, we'll just go to the water park, right? So he says, I'll just get him out of here, and we'll go to the water park. So what's this water park? We don't have to go this route, but I'm just thinking a water park in Benidorm would be a lot of fun.
Well, I don't think I've ever been to the water park in Benidorm. I think we very much keep them in line with what you would do in Benidorm. So I think the first thing that they go and do is they walk down the strip and they see...
Phone party.
Phone party, but it's early doors. I would say that they're going for it.
Start with the phone party.
I think they're trying to find fry up first. I think the first thing on their mind is breakfast. Like, let's go and get something to eat. And then they're getting pulled in from pillar to post from different places. Well, it's pesetas back then, isn't it? Euros haven't been invented. Anyway, they're walking down the strip. They get
armfuls of flyers.
yeah. They get pulled in for a breakfast. And I feel like you said before, everything's one big ploy. So if you go to the restaurant, it's people like acting as if they're waiters and things like that, but really they're trying to poison the food to obviously capture him. I think it's all about trying to...
Well, I think that as they're walking down the strip, you say this whole thing's a ploy. As he's walking down the strip, you've essentially got shop fronts that as soon as they go past that shop front, the bloke who's working that shop has to like run out, and he's got to go to the next shop, and it's like a constant.
Yeah.
So they're like
He's got
constantly
different hats on.
he's like constantly.
These lads will not take no for an answer.
So they're like constantly having to build this strip essentially. Like, you know, you've seen like North Korea where they go in and it's like everything's fake. There's fake food.
I get what you mean.
It's like that.
Yeah.
And then when they choose the restaurant they actually want to go in, suddenly everyone has to get there and like make it a reality.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I like this. So just remind us that last line again, Gareth.
The last line. I honestly didn't think we would be here.
Right, okay, because we've got about 5-10 minutes to get to that point. I honestly didn't think we would be here.
Right.
So at this point, we know that the surgeons are in Benidorm, they're in Benidorm. What is the trap? What do they manage to perform surgery? What is the point we're getting to?
They go to a cafe. He's looking at what he wants. Bradbury starts peeling the edge of a menu to reveal the words master plan. And he's trying to show his dad.
And he's still ignoring him.
Yeah,
His dad's like, just look at the kids' menu.
Yeah, 2 sausage and beans. That's it. I'm not forking out for something you won't eat.
Yeah.
Right. I like this. So go on then. He peels it off. The master plan.
Peel it, master plan. Oh my god! And then he's told his dad.
Right, I think we separate them. So I think it's a case of being like, it's foiled back this little menu, master plan underneath. Dad, trying to show him. He's saying, I'll order you sausage, chips, and beans. You like that? Go and play on that.
Arcade.
Go in the arcade.
Thing.
Yeah, but it's not like, obviously, I don't think they had like the electric arcades back then. So it's just
just a bloke with holding a bunch bag.
yeah. Exactly. So Bradbury's separated. He's like, right, okay, because he's still 10 and he wants to play and he's on holiday. So he's sort of seen this master plan, but no, I'm going to go and play instead. Whilst he goes away, the net gets involved and he gets captured and taken away.
Bradbury or the doctor?
The doctor. So the doctor
okay.
gets taken away whilst he's gone playing on like an arcade, which is just, like Gareth said, a man holding a boxing glove and he's punching it. Really? Like,
oh, and he's just going, like he's holding it, punching it.
And
it's just hits it in the face.
I imagine the net falls and like a button's pressed. And do you know when like a wall flips and it looks the same? Yeah, it's just like that. So they spin.
Can Bradbury like say punches this punch bag and the guy's like 999, and then that's when it flips and Bradbury thinks he's done that.
Yeah,
like Bradbury is like, what have I done?
Yeah.
I like that. So say that. So net's on him. The whole like room turns.
It revolves.
Yeah. And then the other side, it's like white coats, big white lights on him, scalpels. You know what I mean?
Big pot.
Yeah. Which says brain on it. And they're like, that's he's connecting all the dots.
They're gonna make me into a fondue.
Yeah.
One of
the surgeons are there, like just sharpening a knife, like, and he fully clocks on to what's happening, and they're like, "Look, you've been one of the brightest minds of our time, but you know it's time you share that knowledge with us."
Yeah, maybe he's actually been someone who's been very clever, but he didn't share his work because he wanted to be the person who everybody needed.
Yeah. He'll take it to the grave.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, we need to study you because you won't give us the information. Right, so I imagine a little scene which is very intense to watch where they're sort of dragging him.
Yeah.
It's an 82-year-old man.
Like a really sort of like almost harrowing scene where it's like being dragged to this patient table.
Strap him down.
He's like, please, Bradbury. He gets pinned to the table. Obviously,
Do they gag him with anything?
apple.
Just an apple.
Like
Sausage, chips, and beans.
Yeah. What if they did
Puts him on a spit.
What if they gagged him with a flyaway? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah. Just.
Or one of those water balls that bounce.
Yeah. So like something from the shop. That's what I'm trying to think.
And then they're all around. Who's the chief sort of operator? What is he called?
Oh, it's Kevin Scaler.
Kevin Scaler.
Yeah.
Kevin Scaler.
That's
right.
a baddie's name.
Evil man.
Yeah.
So Kevin Scaler, he's just put on his armbands instead of gloves. He's just rolled them up his arms. Instead of like glasses.
Can he be on a lilo?
That's what Tarquin's on.
Yeah.
And you think he's going to pull down his glasses and the goggles.
Yeah. I really like, he says I'm going to do keyhole surgery. Puts a bit of pen on his arse.
Yeah, he's operating from the arse to get to his brain.
Yeah.
And then he just goes, Tarquin goes, that sounds terrifying. Okay, so at this point, let's just smash to, cut to, it's Bradbury.
Yep.
And he's just seeing this whole sort of restaurant revolve. The guy who he sort of punched the punching bag out of his hand, where's he gone? Has he just disappeared?
He's picked it back up.
He's picked it.
Somebody else might want to go.
Oh, yeah. He's not involved with them, funnily enough.
He's as shocked as the rest of them.
Maybe, did they do like caricatures there and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So maybe Bradbury goes and gets a caricature done.
Right.
So you know what I mean? They're like,
Hold on.
Oh, of Tarquin.
Bradbury sees his dad disappear behind a wall with like 6 blokes, and he goes, I want a caricature done.
yeah. Well,
How would he say it?
I could just picture him in caricature. He's doing me with big ears. That's funny. That. I can't really do that.
You wouldn't just leave the room.
Yeah, but I'm thinking in my head when I had him hitting it, I didn't have him fully being aware that he turned it. It was almost like it happened behind him.
All right, so he's played the game. He then turns around and his dad is gone. Everyone is gone.
The restaurant's gone.
The whole restaurant is not there
Yeah, but
anymore.
it just looks like a new restaurant. It just looks like it looks like the same restaurant, but it's empty. That's the point I had in my head.
So you're 10 years old in Benidorm, and you hit a punching bag. You turn around, your whole family's gone. No one's there anymore, and you go, "Where's the nearest caricature?"
yeah. That's a point. It was a memento, wasn't it?
I remember this.
It's just a caricature of you sobbing,
Yeah.
alone.
Right. No. You know what? We're going to roll with the caricature. So what's happened is he's turned round. Obviously, this restaurant's disappeared, but he clocked the waiter. It looks like the woman who he saw earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a caricature artist nearby. He goes, I'm going to describe to you the woman I've just seen. I need a picture of her. And the caricature artist, for some bizarre reason, takes on this information by Harry. How does he describe her?
She's a 5'8" woman, and she's got long blonde hair, and she's very nice.
She's nice.
But she's scary as well because she fell through the
Yeah.
through the ceiling.
Very nice.
Well, he's not very descriptive and he's a bit scared.
But
he's
funnily-
elated because he's got 999 on the box.
But funnily enough, it's perfect.
Yeah.
This is perfect. So he's
It's
going...
that bad of a description. He can't even do funny eyes or ears or like big nose. He's drawn her exactly how she looks.
Yeah,
it's not like I could go off. I have no idea.
I like that. So he's got this perfect image of what this woman looked like. And he's going down the streets of Benidorm trying to find, like, have you seen this lady? Have you seen this lady? And they're like, no, I haven't. How does he come across them? I feel like he stumbles across.
I imagine, say if he gets to the end of the strip, right, and it's like a western town where it's just like cardboard cutouts.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he gets to the end of the strip.
Benidorm strip.
Yeah. And he's got the poster in his hand, and it's just, I don't know, is it fucking desert? What's beyond just,
Yeah, let's say
ocean,
that.
we'll just say, right. He's like, and obviously, like, if he turns literally 90 degrees, he's just going to see wooden supports and then his dad being operated on about 250 yards up the road. So I have him, like, just being, like, looking out, being like, oh, my God. You know, and then hearing this calamity of noise going on.
You can hear like a circular saw going or something.
Yeah. He can hear the squeaking of the lilo. That's what he can hear. Right. And he's like, and he turns, and then he's like squinting from a distance, like, is that?
Yeah.
What is? Well, yeah, obviously you'd be saying like how you do it.
What's that?
Yeah. And maybe because of his like naivety, he almost goes like, "Let's onto him." You know what I mean? And there's that kind of like suspect, like them looking at him.
Well, they're going, we've got to operate quick. We've got to operate quick before he gets here. Yeah. So it's keyhole surgery we're going with. Yeah. So they've gone into
through his thigh.
Yeah. They've gone through the back of his thigh. They've sort of got in, but they haven't reached his brain yet.
No.
Maybe it's like we're seeing it's sort of this sort of cross cut between Bradbury running as fast as he can. And I like the idea of when he does save him, he sort of does the jump up and he gives it one of them hurricanes.
He's just turned into Harry Gay.
But it's Bradbury. It's just like, it's just weird. So he's running towards, and then how does he sort of foil this sort of surgery happening between his dad and
maybe the
Scaler?
thing that they're operating with is like new technology. It's the first of its kind, and it's the only one they have. And if Bradbury has gone in and ruined it, they can't do the surgery without that piece.
Well, it's usually like we said earlier. It's chopping the top off the top of the head off, but they're going for keyhole surgery instead, first of its kind. So they're using a new tool. How does it snap? Like what does Bradbury do?
In mind, if you're doing keyhole surgery through like the thigh to the brain, like that, to me, that's like putting the poles in a tent.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a lot of trying to figure it out.
Right.
So I think they've got this massive tool. I think Bradbury somehow breaks the end of the tool, so it can't go any. Like they've got no.
Yeah, they
nowhere
can't
to go
reach.
with
They
it.
can't reach.
Yeah, literally
I
can't
guess to his
reach.
shoulder.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And how does he break it? He's running towards them. They're sort of like feeding it up.
I think he trips over it. I don't think it's a case of him kicking it. I think he's
slips
like,
up,
Dad! And he runs and then just hits it by accident, and it breaks. And then by that point, he's unintentionally saved his dad's life.
Right.
Or the other option would be, so he's running towards and he's like frightened and it looks like this is hopeless, and then out of nowhere, Esteban.
Yeah.
Esteban.
And is he with Sebastian?
With Sebastian. No, it's not Esteban, is it? Sebastian. Sorry.
No, Sebastian's the English driver.
Sorry, Sebastian and Esteban. They arrive in the Rolls Royce
Right.
somehow.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, and
They've had a call from the caricaturist who's a cousin.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's their cousin.
what's their name?
Oh, it's got to be. It's just Barry.
Okay, so yeah, they've been tipped off. Oh, I've seen this happen. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So they come driving in the Rolls Royce, and they come in and they skid. And as they skid, the back end of the Rolls Royce like takes out a couple of the surgeons.
Yeah.
As they're skidding around, they jump out, and then.
Yeah, I think that's enough. I reckon they
That's
took out
enough.
the surgeons.
Yeah, that's enough.
Drive-by surgery stuff.
Yeah.
Drive-by surgery, but like, and obviously, I think that Tarquin's there, and he's like, oh, they didn't reach my brain, because obviously no one anaesthetic. They haven't put him under for this.
Yeah.
He's like, thank God, and he's elated, and then he looks, and Bradbury has also been hit by the car.
Right.
I just think, like that.
And he wakes up and he doesn't sound like Harry Kane anymore.
Father. All right. So he sounds completely like he's got a really posh accent now. And then Esteban opens the door and it's him again. Oh, sure, that really is.
Because what's the last line?
Yeah, what's that like?
So the last line is, I honestly didn't think we would be here.
So I think he's saying that to the four of them.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's gone to Benidorm and his old drivers there. They're all together.
Oh, yeah. And
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's like, I honestly.
Yeah.
Just wanted to know why I was on a tenner.
Yeah, I just wanted to know why I was on a tenner.
I honestly didn't think we would be here.
I think we finished it there. We got there. I had some heavy laughs in that there. Fucking hell. Go on, what was you going to say?
The Harry Kane is superb.
Yeah.
Like,
What I was going to say is, like we do every week, we are going to come up with a name for this bad boy. We're going to come up for a soundtrack for the montage, what the poster would look like, and your offering to the pot. So we will be back in a very short time. See you in a sec. Just a little bit. And we are back. Gareth, thank you very much for a very, very funny story. How was that for you?
Oh, that was barrel of laughs. That was great.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Did you do a bit of prep before it of like the character, or was it completely all made up on the spot?
No, the only thing I thought of was the name,
Right.
a little bit, and just the name Tarquin is just is funny, and I just needed it somewhere in life, and so I went, well, perfect opportunity to throw Tarquin in.
I've never met a Tarquin ever.
I'm going to put it out there. I don't think you ever will.
Have you ever met a Tarquin?
No, I don't think so. Have you? Is there a famous Tarquin?
Uh,
I feel like there should be.
Yeah,
Tarquin.
I think it's one of those names. It's like generic posh name, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Especially with the fondue on the end of it as well. Does that make it even posher? Fondue? Is fondue a
Well,
posh?
fondue sounds a bit like
It's
a
just bread and
made-up
cheese,
posh
isn't
name.
it? So it's not posh, but it's like
Just bread and cheese.
it's just bread and cheese, right? But
I've never had a fondue.
the idea of it.
chocolate fondue.
I've never had a fondue.
Well, we'd have cheese on toast, wouldn't we? But
Right.
they just go, well, maybe we'll dip the bread in the cheese, and it's like, oh, that's posh. That's like M&S
Hang on a
Right.
minute.
style.
Have I been getting a fondue wrong for my entire life? A fondue
do you
is a
think it's
chocolate pudding with a soft middle.
No, yeah.
That's it.
I
That's
thought you meant it was going to be melted
Oh, what
bread
a
and
twat.
lots of cheese
Fondant.
you dip in.
That's a lesson for me.
Yeah, he thought it was
I thought it was a pudding.
So when I was saying,
Fondant.
so when we were like alluding to cheese fondue, were you thinking it's some sort of
No,
like
that's what I
solid
said. I said he's got a soft middle.
Oh,
Yeah, but
cheese melted would be
Cheese
soft
melted,
in the middle as
right.
well.
Yeah,
so
but that's
why it made
not the point.
sense.
Fuck it. Do it again now. Got to start all over. Yeah. That is mad.
But yeah, I did like where it went. I thought it was very funny. Was there any highlights in particular in terms of like, was there anything what made us howl with laughter? I think Harry Kane's impression in general was very funny.
Yeah, you just can't go wrong with that, can you?
The Jägermeister, the Jäger bomb joke.
Yeah, that is so good.
Superb.
Yeah.
Happy with that.
Yeah.
Although I did like the just the punching bag is a bloke holding it back. It's quite funny.
And I think that might actually be the biggest curveball/swerveball in terms of the trip to Benidorm, where it has completely changed.
On the way to the Mint.
On the way to the
Yeah,
main,
Benidorm instead.
that was a massive U-turn in the story, that in terms of like trying to shoehorn that in. What I would like to do, or what we would like to do, is come up with a name for this story. What are we thinking in terms of names? Have you got some in the back of your head, Harry? Because I feel like
I'm not going to throw it out there initially. I'm just thinking, because he doesn't feature too much, Harry Kane, but I think there's something in like, you know what I mean? No pain, no Kane.
I was playing on the nerve thing, so like nervous or something.
Nervous.
right, all right, as in like brain,
Yeah, as in
nervous
like,
system.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
That sentence where they're like, the rain in Spain on the plane. But you've got Kane as well, haven't you?
Yeah, God.
Um,
Kane in Spain soars mainly through the brain.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. Citizen Brain.
Citizen Brain, yeah.
I'm trying. Yeah, it's one of them because like Kane is like
Suspicious Minds. Suspicious Minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said it.
I think.
Where's the pun in it though?
No, I just think it's a good title.
Yeah.
Good
Oh, it's
song.
the name of the song.
Yeah. We're caught in a trap. Can't walk out.
Well, maybe that is the song that we use.
Yeah, we can.
Potentially.
Yeah.
You'd have to get your dad to do it.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking is just on the Kane subject is that
on
Harry Kane. It's the voice of Harry Kane, but it isn't
it's not
Kane.
Kane.
It's not
No.
Kane.
Got
innit?
it.
He doesn't.
Sun, Sea, and Suspicious Minds.
It's a stretch. I think. No, I think we can do better.
Yeah.
What's the one you've got in the back of your head?
I said it before. No pain, no Kane.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I do like that a lot, but obviously, like we said,
Yeah.
Kane doesn't feature.
No plane, no brain. You could do it. Just throw all the words that rhyme with it in. That is funny. Because if they didn't get on the plane, you won't get the brain.
No plane, no brain is very good. No plane, no brain.
I'd go and watch that.
Yeah. Right, so let's do the name of the song. What is the song for the trailer for this story? Like you said, Suspicious Minds.
Suspicious Minds is a good shout.
It's a good shout.
I'm caught in a
Cracking
trap.
shout.
Is
I'm caught in a trap.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
walk out because I love you too much, baby.
Yeah.
I like Suspicious Minds, but purely because of the connotations that what's going on in his head, we need to find out.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I quite like it as well.
Right, so let's lock that in. So
I'm
it's
caught in a trap. I think
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
no plane, no brain, Suspicious Minds. What's the poster looking like for this thing?
What if it could be a guy's head that's open and all this madness is like coming out?
Right,
Yeah.
okay,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you're seeing like just his kind of forehead and above.
Yeah.
And it's like a plane coming out. You know, there's like
A £10 note.
But his head's like a cocktail. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
yeah, just beaches, sand,
Yeah.
Harry
I
Kane,
like that.
All of them.
Yeah. Tiki Beach.
match attack stickers. That's
Yeah, so it's his head, but it's almost like
yeah.
it's open.
His head is the Alliance.
Right, okay. I like that. And last thing that we need is your offering for the pot, Gareth. So what is a line you would like to gift to another guest?
This can't be mine, surely.
Right, okay. This can't be mine, surely. That's a very good one.
I like the ones that are vague because it can be taken in any way.
Yeah.
What was someone suggested one that was like, "This is definitely cum."
Back all the way to the Mint.
But it's Harry Kane saying it.
This is definitely come.
Right, okay. And Gareth, is there anything that you'd like to plug, even if it's your socials, your TikTok? What is it we can find you on?
Not really. I'm on everything X now. TikTok, just doing what I want.
You're the first person who I've heard it say X instead of Twitter.
Well, it's 'cause people keep bothering about it, so just say X, and that's what it says on my phone.
Yeah.
But it might not be by the time this comes out.
Yeah, it could have changed again.
Maybe just Soccer Aid because I like watching it.
Yeah.
Just
I
keep doing it.
think that is the peak, isn't it? Getting on Soccer Aid. If you
I said that. I went, if I can get on Soccer Aid, I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a nice goal to have. But like we said before, keep getting involved with the pod. Keep sending in your prompts.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching and listening. And if you've enjoyed it, just please go and tell people. I know we say it, but it genuinely does make like a massive difference. And it's good to see that people keep coming back to it. So thank you very much for coming on. Do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for Sam.
Yeah.
For guest hosting.
Yeah, I'm thank you for saying that, mate. Because he definitely wasn't.
I'm literally turning into you.
No. You sort of turned to see if that fan was sort of hitting you. It wasn't.
No, I was turning into you to say.
Oscillating.
I was going to ask, how did you find your experience guest hosting?
Yeah, enjoyed it. It's nice to be this side of the desk.
Yeah, different experience.
Yeah, very
it?
different experience. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you did really well.
Cheers, mate.
Should I save that for off, Mike? I thought that was.
No, it was very nice.
I needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you did. I thought you did do well.
Are we going to have a full debrief when we get home?
Yeah. You wait till we get in a car.
Yeah.
Don't you dare embarrass me.
Right. So thank you once again to everybody, and thank you once again for listening. This has been All Made Up with Gareth Hart. Thank you.
Nice one.
Thank you very much.
It's all made